grand rising to all my investors itself out there, man. Thank y'all for tapping into another episode of the Entrepreneurial Conversations that we're going to have today and what have you. So today we're going to start by calling our segment of our topics, we can call it Toolbox Talk, because I named it that for the specific reason is, you know, as a mechanic or just a person that know how to fix things, you have a toolbox where you put your tools at that you're going to need for specific jobs and what have you. And this is our toolbox. Any type of advice, any type of strategies, whatever that is talked about on the show, you can put it in your toolbox, or your entrepreneurial toolbox and what have you, because this is something that's going to be very handy or helpful to you and what have you. So we're going to call it Toolbox Talk. So today topic we're going to talk about today is telling yourself lies. Especially, it's important as an entrepreneur not to tell yourself lies, because when you start to tell yourself lies before you can even begin as an entrepreneur, you already failed yourself, right? You already setting yourself up for failure and what have you. So before we jump into the topic, you know what that time it is, man. If you are watching this playback of the Entrepreneurial Conversation show and what have you, on our YouTube channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Definitely hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be notified when a new episode drops on here. And also make sure you hit on that like button so the algorithm knows this is a real show. And also, if you are listening to this on our Spotify channel, make sure you hit that follow button so you can be notified when a new episode drop. And also, once again, we're going to be putting this on Pod Up. You can go to podup.com and what have you. So we still getting that together and what have you. So we're going to put that, don't get me wrong, this show is still going to be on YouTube channel. The show is still going to be on Spotify. We just adding it to another platform because we trying to get more listeners. We trying to, tap into each and every market of a platform as possible so we can get people honed into the entrepreneurial conversations, what have you, because there's a lot of entrepreneurs out here, especially new up and coming entrepreneurs. People just thinking about entering the field of entrepreneurship. So it's great. I'm happy to be here to give you any type of advice, any type of encouragement, any type of thing that I know, something that I may have learned, or something that I may been told by someone who is a successful entrepreneur. I'll be happy to come here and share with y'all and what have you. So this is like our own space, especially for new and up and coming entrepreneurs to tap into becoming a successful entrepreneur and what have you, guys. And also, man, make sure you make your way over to investflagship.com, because at the end of the day, that is going to be up. It's going to be up shortly. So I want y'all to go ahead to go over there right now. Get signed up on our emailing list, so once the official site drop, you won't miss out of what we got in store for you on the site. And I promise you, it's going to be very. We have a couple pieces put together for you. So you definitely want to be disappointed. So make sure you make your way over there, because we want you to be able to tap into becoming a successful entrepreneur, and we here to motivate you. So when you go over to investflagship.com, sign up on our emailing list, you will never miss a beat of what's going on in Invest and what have you. But other than that, guys, man, before I take a quick commercial break, man, I'm going to tap into a new segment that I'm adding to the show. It's called Spotlight News. And we're just going to give you a spotlight of what's going on within being an entrepreneur and what have you. Just taking articles and reading it to you to let you know, hopefully it could be something that you can innovate in your business, something you can think about, just different little things that's going on within the field of entrepreneurship. And I got a topic that I found on entrepreneur.com, which y'all can go to entrepreneur.com and check it out. I'm gonna leave the link in the description so you can be able to get it, access it faster that way and what have you. Today on the spotlight topic that we're going to be talking about today for the news that I'm going to bring y'all is off of entrepreneur.com, where I'm going to leave the link up in the description so you can be able to go and check it out. What the article basically talk about is exploring how virtual reality is changing startups. So businesses are looking for different ways to be able to market because they feel like the old marketing ways is falling short of getting eyes onto their business and what have you, whatever they have to offer, right? So they're trying to get new clients, they're trying to get new customers. So when it comes to you being an entrepreneur, is you got to be able to innovate. You got to find different ways to be able to get people to come to what you got to offer, especially if you got a specific target marketing you're trying to hit. You got to be able to draw them into your business, and you got to be able to innovate your business in a way where you are creating an environment where they can come and be at and feel comfortable and what have you. So you have startup companies, they looking into virtual reality, right? Different ways to be able to make it the experience to the customer more appealing, make them feel great about just taking an investment in investing in your services, investing in your brand and what have you. So I'm gonna read just a paragraph or two from this article, and like I said, I'm gonna leave a link in the description where you can go and check it out, so you can get the gist of what they are talking about. So the first paragraph is: today, startups face daunting tasks of capturing prospective clients' attention. Traditional marketing approaches sometimes fall short when it comes to captivating customers and making a lasting impression on brands. And you gotta understand, the traditional way of doing things sometimes isn't going to work in today's society, especially as being an entrepreneur. So you have to do things that's going to hone people in and keep people attention for a long time, because it's all about that first 3 seconds. You give people a banging 3 seconds, right? That may be good enough. You may left a good enough impression for them to carry over to your site, carry over to reaching out to you for your services and what have you, right? So you have to find ways to get people talking about your brand, talking about your services, getting attention that your brand needs, because now you're trying to reach a target market that you need to be in, right? In order for you to be able to reach that target market, you got to be able to come up with a marketing strategy that's going to gather them and move them over here, because you understand, especially when you new and people already latched onto something that may be similar to what you're doing, that's within the field that you are creating a business within, right? You got to be able to get them people to be able to come over to your side of the field and what have you. So the second paragraph is: however, virtual reality technology has just emerged, providing companies with a potent weapon that may transfer their advertising strategy. Startups may make a lasting impact on their target audience by using VR. So this is something that startups are looking at doing, what have you. So this can be something, especially if you haven't started out as being an entrepreneur, this can be something that you can look into. Like, how can I implement this into my business strategy to the point where when I'm ready to market my business or my services to the people that I'm looking to tap into and what have you, how can I use this in an effective way? Virtual reality, what have you, because now you see days you got AI. AI has came on the scene and really made a splash, and a lot of people are using AI. You know, we hear now people are creating AI songs with different rappers' voices that may sound like them and what have you. You got people using AI to make images or designs or what have you. So it's different little things. You got people nowadays using AI to write books, storylines, and what have you, right? So virtual reality and AI is something that you definitely can look into doing and learning how to do it, so you can add it to your business and be successful. So it's 4 things that they have on the site where the effect of using virtual reality, this is how it can help you in many ways. I'm not going to read all through them. I'm just going to read the 4 things that they have, and you can go to the link and you can read why these four things is very effective of using VR and what have you. So number one on a list was making an authentic brand interaction. So number two is making product demos more impressive. Number three is storytelling that engages. And number four is enchanting the quality of events. So those are the four things that they say by using VR, this the things that can help enhance your business, your services, get the attention that it needs and what have you. But other than that, guys, man, that is the segment of the Spotlight News and what have you. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to be right back with that segment we call Quote Me on That, where I read you the quote and I explain to you what the quote means. But other than that, man, make sure y'all tap back in to the conversation, entrepreneurial conversations. Yep. Back. Welcome back to the Entrepreneur Conversation. Thank y'all for tapping back into the show for today. Like I said, man, today's topic that we're going to be talking about is telling yourself lies. But before we jump into the topic, you know what time it is. This is that segment we call Quote Me on That, where I read you a quote and I explain to you what the quote means. So today quote for my go-getters out there, my entrepreneurs out there, people investing in yourself, chasing your dreams, your goals. So today quote, brought to you by yours truly. Today quote is never settle for anything less than your greatness. So let me read that one more time just in case you didn't hear it or understand the quote. Today quote is never settle for anything less than your greatness. So basically what the quote means, you know, you got that old time saying is never settle for less. So basically that's what it is. Never settle for anything less than your greatness, because as an entrepreneur, you got to make sure anytime you create something, anytime you put something together, anytime you do something, it's always something that's through your greatness, right? You never create anything that's going to be less than that, because it's going to show. People are going to see it, right? You're supposed to always create something that's the higher version of yourself and what have you, because at the end of the day, detail matters, and detail should matter to you, because if you put something out there and doesn't speak to the entrepreneur that you are, or the creativity, the level of the creativity that you have, then it's going to be looked at as just being a hobby. It's going to be looked at as something that's just generic. It's going to be looked at as something that people just don't want because it's not good enough, right? So you want to make sure when you are creating something, you want to make sure you tapping into your greatness when you're doing it. Never settle for anything less than your greatness. Or if you are contracting your services out, especially say for instance, if you have the designs but you have somebody printing them on your shirt and what have you, and you get your shirts back and it doesn't speak to the higher version of yourself, and the design that you created doesn't match what you envision or the higher version of your creativity and what have you, do not settle for it, right? You have every right to say, no, this is not what I'm looking for. This is not what I want. You don't settle for any, it don't matter when, as an entrepreneur, never settle for less than your greatness, because at the end of the day, your greatness is what's going to take you far as an entrepreneur. When you learn how to tap into it and stay consistent and stay disciplined and focused, your greatness is always going to show. So you got to make sure, never settle for anything less than your greatness, because if you settle for anything less, you're going to always be settling. But other than that, guys, that is the segment we call Quote Me on That. On to our toolbox conversation that we're going to have today. Like I said, our topic for our toolbox conversation for today, we're going to be talking about is telling yourself lies. And that's very important to understand as an entrepreneur, before you begin your journey as an entrepreneur, right? Never tell yourself lies, because once you start telling yourself lies, you're going to always tell yourself lies. It's going to be a snowball effect, right? And you want to be truthful with yourself as an entrepreneur. You don't want to set yourself up for failure, right? You want to get the understanding, especially if you don't know how to be a successful entrepreneur, or you don't even know where to begin as an entrepreneur, and you just got a idea of what an entrepreneur is, and you really don't understand it. Most of the time, it's going to be something that's going to come out as not being true, right? Because we, as before you jump into the field of entrepreneur and you thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, right? You may know somebody who's already been in entrepreneurship that may be at a level to now where they are successful at what they doing. See, through your eyes, your opinion of what entrepreneurship is through their success and what have you, right? You think this is going to be something easy because you see somebody you know that's doing it, right? You don't know what work they put in. You don't know their journey. You don't know what they had to do to make it to that level, right? All you see is a person that you know that's successful as an entrepreneur, right? So you looking through the lenses of their success of what entrepreneurship is, right? So you feel like, okay, this is going to be something that's going to be a cakewalk. This is going to be something that I definitely going to be successful at. All I got to do is just create something, then overnight I'm going to be success and what have you. And it doesn't work that way. Like I said many times, guys, entrepreneurship is commitment. It's not a lifestyle. And a lot of times people jump into entrepreneurship treating it as a lifestyle, and they don't last that long because they now don't see the instant results right away of what they want to do as an entrepreneur, right? This is a long term investment, right? Longevity is the key of being an entrepreneur and being set and being successful at it and what have you, right? So I got a couple things to throw out here of some lies that entrepreneurs tell themselves, right? That potentially set themselves up for failure. And next thing you know, they are out of the field of entrepreneurship within months, what have you, right? So the first lie on the list is I'll be successful. I'll be successful right away. And a lot of times, like I said, we see um, what entrepreneurship is through the lenses of other people's success of what they are doing and what have you, right? And we don't fully understand what they did to become successful, what bumps in the road they had to endure order for them to be able to become successful and what have you, right? Telling yourself it's not wrong with saying, hey, I'm going to be a successful entrepreneur, right? It's nothing wrong with that because now you are giving yourself that motivation. You are empowering yourself and you speaking into existence. But when you tell yourself I'm gonna be successful right away, you just setting yourself up for failure because at the end of the day, say for instance, as an entrepreneur, you create something, right? And you put it out there on social media and you don't get no hits on it, no feedback, no nothing, right? You don't see no results. And 6 months down the line, you still getting the same results, nothing. And now you go back to when you tell yourself, I'm gonna be successful right away. And by you not getting any eyes on your product or your services within 6 months, to you, you feel like I'm not successful. I thought I was gonna be successful right away. No, this is not happening. So guess what's gonna happen? You're not gonna want to do it no more. You're gonna become unconfident of in your ability. You're not gonna feel good about yourself. You're gonna make yourself depressed and what have you. So it's gonna be a lot of things that you're gonna cause yourself. So you to not want to be an entrepreneur no more, not to do this no more because you don't see the success right away and what have you. So those are one of the things that you do not want to tell yourself. Like I said, it's nothing wrong with telling yourself I'm gonna be successful entrepreneur, right? I'm gonna be successful in the field of entrepreneurship. I'm gonna be one of the successful entrepreneurs ever known. There's nothing wrong with telling yourself that because now you empowering yourself. You feeding yourself the nutrients that you need to continue to be motivated, continue to push forward, continue to go and what have you. You're speaking into existence, right? And you got something to look forward to, right? So that's one thing you don't want to tell yourself. I'm gonna be successful right away. So number two on the list is I don't need a business plan. I can figure it out and what have you. And people mistakenly don't understand what business plan is. A business plan, you putting something together, you can have something that's concrete of a guidance to now you seeing what you are doing each step, what you want to do, what type of business you want. Far as being an entrepreneur, you got it right there in front of you. You got a blueprint of strategies that you can that you're looking forward to use, right? You got a business plan to keep everything in line, to keep you focused, to make sure everything is going in according to your business plan, whatever you have, right? And also, a business plan is also used to help you get finance um, from different sources that you need to get financing from, and what have you, right? Because they're going to want to see a business plan. They're going to want to make sure this is nothing of a hobby. They want to make sure this is something that's serious, right? They want to make sure that you understand what you are doing and what have you, right? Because if you get in the field of entrepreneurship, you like, I'm gonna wing this, right? I'm gonna figure it out as I go, right? You're gonna take so many losses to the point where you ain't gonna know what to do to prevent you from taking losses, right? That's just like, you're just gonna do something for the fun of it, right? And you don't care what type of results you get out of it, right? Entrepreneurship is something that's serious because you don't want to put money into something and you constantly taking losses, right? And you don't know what you're doing. You just on this verge or this journey of figuring it out and what have you. Yes, I understand, before social media, before any type of thing to help entrepreneurs that we see that are successful. When they started, they didn't have social media. They didn't have platforms they can go to. They didn't have many people they knew that was successful as an entrepreneur because you didn't have online to reach out to people to help them, right? So yes, they had to kind of learn as they go. But the difference is you willing to learn as you go. You willing to somewhat reach out to people that you may run across that may help you out. You are going to the library getting books to understanding how to market. You are doing different things to help you out. You are seeking mentorship. So just that's different than you just not doing anything. You just trying to just figure it out as you go along. And that's not going to work. You're going to find yourself in a deep hole as an entrepreneur, right? So having a business plan, something that's right there in front of you, that's concrete to keep you on track, to keep you focused, to keep you where you need to be at is very vital, especially being an entrepreneur, to come up with come up with your strategy, your blueprint, a framework, come up with something that's going to help you align your business or grow you as an entrepreneur to help you, right? Because at the end of the day, like to say always, is as you grow as an entrepreneur, your business going to grow. It goes hand to hand. Your business is not going to grow if you're not growing. If you going down as an entrepreneur, your business is going to go right there with it, right? It's never that you going down as an entrepreneur and your business just continue to grow. No, it's never going to work that way. So you got to understand, man. No, you cannot just figure it out. You got to have something that's concrete as an entrepreneur that's going to keep you on track and what have you. Number three in my on the list is I'll make a lot of money quickly. I'll make a lot of money quickly and be able to live a lavish lifestyle. So, guys, what's my number one thing I'd like to say? Entrepreneurship is a commitment, not a lifestyle. When you become an entrepreneur, most of your money you're going to use to reinvest back into your business, right? You're not going to be able to live that lavish lifestyle that you think you're going to live right away, that you're going to live right away. It's not going to happen, right? Because you might not see a profit within so many years, right? Until you finally get your business where you need to go. Yeah, you might have some people, entrepreneurs out there might see a profit right away, but that's not all entrepreneurs, right? Right. So it might not take you might not see a profit within the first 3 years because you are reinvesting your money back into your business, growing your business, innovating your business, right? Getting it to where it needs to be so you can start seeing a monthly profit, right? Because the money that you are making from your business right now is just enough to be able to cover anything that you're using for as marketing and what have you, and you taking the rest of it and reinvesting back into your business, so you can continue to build it and what have you, right? So if you're telling yourself I'm gonna make a lot of money quickly and be able to live a lavish lifestyle, you just setting yourself up for failure because guess what? Like I said, if you're not making that money quickly and you're not getting to that lavish lifestyle right away, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna quit. You're gonna hate everything about entrepreneurship. You like, man, I thought this is gonna bring me a lavish lifestyle because a lot of times what it is you look at other entrepreneurs online on social media and you don't understand a lot of them are faking it till they make it. Faking it till they make it, right? You got a lot of entrepreneurs out here, guys, that got rented cars, rented Airbnbs, and they taking pictures in front of it, doing videos within it, and what have you, making you think that it's theirs. It's this lavish lifestyle, and it's not, right? So you got to understand what's the difference between fake and real. So don't get caught up of what somebody else is doing as an entrepreneur. Look at what you are doing. Focus on yourself, focus on your business and not focus on anybody else because at the end of the day, when you start focusing on everything else around you, um, you're not going to like anything that's going on within your lifestyle, right? So once again, man, entrepreneurship is a commitment. It's not a lifestyle. So number 4 on my list is I'll work less once my business is up and running smoothly. So this is something that people tend to forget. So a lot of people feel like, okay, once I get my business up and running, I can dial it back just a little bit. I ain't got to do this. I ain't got to do that. But you fail to realize once you get your business up running smooth, that's when you definitely got to work a lot harder because you got to continue to grow. You got to continue to run your business. You got to continue to make sure the number one thing is your business, your services are successful, right? Because if you start practicing bad habits once you get your business up and running and you start dialing back, guess what? Once you start dialing back, you're gonna constantly find yourself dialing the scale back. And guess what happened? Once you get too comfortable as an entrepreneur, you're gonna see your business going in the wrong direction that you don't want it to go, right? So you got to work 10 times hard. Yes, some things that you can delegate now once your business get up running smoothly. Now, depending on where you at, you can get a team to help you with the little tedious things, the things that's very time consuming. But far as you just work less and what have you, you're going to have to work 10 times as hard as to make sure you stay on top of your business, especially as you become an entrepreneur, you become successful and you rising up. When you are on top, you got to work hard to stay on top. Because once you get comfortable, guess what will happen? It's always going to be a new entrepreneur. It's always going to be someone right behind you that's ready to take your spot. It's always going to be someone right there that's ready to knock you off the throne, right? It's always going to be somebody right there to replace you and be the number one spot. Because at the end of the day, when you reach that type of success and what have you, and the thing about it is, I'm not saying you have to be this big type of brand. You got to be this. You got to have the best. I'm not saying you have to be the biggest service. You provide the biggest service in the world and what have you, right? I'm saying success in a way where even though people in a global sense doesn't, recognize you, but the people within your field, within your community recognizes you and people know who you are, right? And to the point is people look at you as one of the top brands, top services and what have you, right? So you don't want to lose that, right? Because at the end of the day, it's always somebody coming up with a new business, somebody coming up with a new brand, people coming up with new services and what have you, right? So you want to make sure you constantly innovating your business, doing the thing it takes to continue to win. Look at Apple. Look at what Apple is going through right now. Apple that had 2 quarter losses, right? Because they feel like, okay, why should I really innovate? Because people are going to buy our phones anyway when we drop them. See, Apple right now, they need to find a way to innovate their phones, come up with something new, because a lot of people are getting tired of the same old getting served the same old thing. So it's time for them to be able to tap into some innovation and innovate their phones, and to make sure that they're not going to lose customers or lose their attraction to their phones and what have you, right? So it's very important. Like I said, you can never get comfortable. And Apple is a big company, right? Apple is a very big company. It's very important to our economy and what have you. Brings a lot of money to our economy. But at the end of the day, you have, I think Samsung may took the number one spot because of the new phone that just came out, is the Galaxy S24 Ultra, that brand and what have you. So, and plus Apple, not Apple but Samsung, what have you, the new phone has AI technology. Go back to what I was saying, AI. Apple doesn't have AI. Apple doesn't have AI at all within their phones or what have you. So it's a lot of things that you have to do as an entrepreneur to continue to make sure you innovate in your business so people will be happy with it. So I don't want to lose track of what I want to talk about. I just wanted to use Apple as an example of never getting comfortable, never stop working hard because you're a big company, because people, people going to buy whatever you bring out. No, you want to continue to serve people good, good service, right? Giving them good service, doing what it takes as an entrepreneur to make sure that you never become complacent and what have you. So that's very important to understand that, guys. Very important to understand that. And number 5 is, I can rely on friends and family to support my business financially. Let me read that one more time because that's very important, guys. Very important. I can rely on friends and family to support my business. Understand one thing, guys. You cannot scale support. You cannot scale support. See, a lot of us as entrepreneurs, we think because we have family and friends may buy something from us, this is going to be something always. These are the people that's going to help me grow my business. I'm going to become a millionaire successful off of is my family, my friends. No, you cannot sell support. You have to find a way to be able to sell outside your circle. You got to find a way to be able to sell online. Online and selling in person are two different things. It's a lot more easier to sell in person than online to strangers. So yes, it's good that you can sell something to your family and friends, but at the end of the day, or provide services or depend on them to buy your services, ask for your services, that's one thing. But you finding outside customers is another. And you cannot scale like I said, you cannot scale support. Your family is not going to support your business financially. Sometimes your family and friends don't even know why they even buying your stuff. All they know is they want to support your whatever you got to offer, right? They don't even know if they really need it or not. They just want to be able to support you on your endeavors as an entrepreneur and what have you. But at the end of the day, you cannot use that as something that you feel like, oh yeah, as long as I have my family, my friends behind me, I'm gonna be successful. No, that's not gonna work like that, guys, at all. Because at the end of the day, your family, your friends might just buy one thing from you, and they might not buy anything else, or may ask for your services just one time, just to support you. And after that, they not even asking for your services no more. So you got to understand, man, you got to be able to sell outside of your family and your friends, outside your supportive circle or what have you. It's not wrong with having a circle of support from your family and friends, but at the same time, you cannot scale support and what have you. So it's definitely important to understand that. All right. And that is 5 things that I have on list. Is more that, things out there that entrepreneurs may tell themselves, that is not very conducive, that's not going to help them grow as an entrepreneur, or they got this false interpretation of what an entrepreneur is, what entrepreneurship is, and what have you. So it's very important at the end of the day is not to tell yourself lies, especially coming in as a new entrepreneur. Do not tell yourself lies. Do not fall in love with somebody else's journey of being an entrepreneur. It's not wrong with getting mentorship from that person that's successful as an entrepreneur. There's nothing wrong with reaching out, asking them the things that they can do to help you out, right? Just don't assume. Just don't look at their journey or their success as an entrepreneur as is something that you're going to be, right? Because you got to put in the work. You got to do what it takes. Yeah, they can give you the strategies. They can show you what you need to do, but it's up to you to put the work in, guys. It's up to you to put the work in. But other than that, man, I don't want to hold y'all too long. Thank y'all for tapping into another entrepreneur conversation. That is our toolbox talk for today. So put that in y'all toolbox, man, so y'all can go back to it and whenever y'all need it and what have you, or you need to go back and help somebody else, put in your toolbox, because we got many more topics to come that you can add to it and what have you. This is officially episode number 2 of season 4, entrepreneur conversations, what have you, formerly known as Invest Pod Show, Invest Brand Pod Show, and what have you. But it's conversational, entrepreneur conversational, guys. But other than that, man, thank y'all for tapping in. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit the notification bell, and make sure you hit on that like button, guys, so the algorithm notice the new show, and make your way over to investflagship.com. Thank y'all for tapping in. Yup.